The greatest power you possess is your ability to choose. Join Lowe's Moore as he reveals how you can begin to maximize that power by exploring yourself on the deepest levels and committing to making lasting and positive changes. Get ready to achieve breakthroughs that will lead to accelerated growth and transformation, because you are now tuned in to The Blueprint.
Why they actions contradict the lamb. I'm fellowshipping when I'm with the fam. That's more relations.
Good morning and welcome back to the Blueprint podcast. You know, last week we were on the road. We've been on the road for a couple of weeks now, about 3 weekends in a row. We've actually done the podcast from Baltimore. Right. I think we've done the podcast from, Rhode Island. I think we've done the podcast from West Virginia University and on last week. And man, I want to welcome you to this Super Bowl weekend special podcast with the Blueprint. Hey. You know, it's crazy because, let me say this before I get started. You know, I want to thank you guys for your support of the Blueprint podcast and also our recent project, the 29 Days Love Challenge. I want to say thank you for your support. Hopefully this is, you know, let me drop this pebble in the pond. Here's the pebble in the pond. This is my miniature basketball. I'm dropping it in. I'm expecting a ripple effect. You know, one of the ways you see in the logo, it says personal and life development. We're hoping that something that has been said or done on the Blueprint will have an impact. Will encourage somebody, will give somebody hope, and you know, help them, you know, through the week, through the month. Maybe something that I've said or my wife has said or our guest has said or done, right, that could have a major impact or have a small impact in your life. But I want to say thank you. I appreciate you guys. Man, I love you guys. And if you don't mind, please go to Lowe's More The Blueprint on Facebook or YouTube. Like us and subscribe. I mean, let's do it. This is 2024 and we're going to another level. We're not only doing Facebook and YouTube, but now we're on the PNN network and also on the Fire Stick and on Roku, right? We're now streaming on those platforms as well. And, you know, one of my I was thinking like I was having a conversation with my man, Philip Reed. There goes the PNN and Roku and the Fire Stick. We're streaming now on those platforms as well. You know, one of the things that Phil, who's the owner of PNN, he said, man, you know, Lowe's, you played in the pros. You played professional basketball, man. You've done something that a lot of people haven't done, you know, and your opinion matters. I think everybody's opinion matters, you know, to me. But he said your opinion matters. You accomplished something and became a professional, particularly in athletics and sports. And people, he said, I could say something, you know, but you know, who am I? I didn't play professional sport. I'm not an entertainer, you know, so forth and so on. And he said, but you know, when you accomplish something that you have accomplished, your opinion matters. And so I'm going to give you this in this new segment. I'm going to give you my opinion. This is just my opinion. And it's Super Bowl weekend, right? We all gearing up. I'm hopefully, man, tomorrow I'm going to have some chicken wings at least. That's one of the, you know, traditions of the Super Bowl is you got to have some chicken wings and you got to have some chips. and you got to have something to drink. Right, that's the tradition of the Super Bowl. So I'm looking forward to having some wings tomorrow. And here's my opinion. This is my opinion. As a professional athlete, and there's a few sports that professionally that should be guaranteed. Right, I believe that NFL players or anybody playing professional football, if they're playing professional football, their contracts should be guaranteed. Most of the NBA, right, contracts, I believe, are guaranteed money. They guaranteed no matter what. So there are a lot of sports out there where your contracts are guaranteed, but sometimes in professional football, your contracts are not guaranteed. We don't know one hit in professional football and your career could be done, right? And so this is my opinion. I believe that every NFL football player should be guaranteed, right? Should be, without a doubt. I mean, I'm not making this up. Should be guaranteed. I mean, I didn't play football, but I've seen a lot of people play. I have a lot of friends that play football, and it is rough, right? And the other sport is hockey, man. They be flying around on those ice skates, hitting each other with the stick, banging each other in the wall. They should be, can y'all say it with me? Guaranteed those contracts, man. Because, one hit and they already losing their teeth. If I can give you my experience real quick. When I was a little kid at the boys club, we used to play, with the hockey stick, the plastic hockey sticks, right? Running around. And then we started to use roller skates. So we started doing hockey on roller skates. And we were pretty good on roller skates. We would roller skate, play basketball on roller skates. We do all kinds of things. And some of my good friends, Italian friends, at the boys club, they were like, man, you guys ought to come play hockey, And I was like, man, look, I'm okay. Let us go see a game. So they put us in the bus when they had the game. Number one, the number one thing that raised the flag for me, it was outside and it was cold outside. It was freezing outside and they was outside like it was summer, and so they out there playing. And before they got started, he was warming up. And then they come over to the side, right? They come over to the side and they started taking their teeth out because since they were little, been playing hockey, right? Some of them had missing teeth. That was a game changer right there. Number one, it was cold, and you gonna lose your teeth? Nah, no, hockey was over for me. Guaranteed NFL football players and guaranteed hockey players without a doubt. So let me move on in what I call is the week in review, right? Last week was amazing. At West Virginia University, I got a chance to go back to my former school. And then I got the pleasure of interviewing one of my former teammates, Junius Lewis, now Pastor Junius Lewis. It was an amazing interview. If you didn't get a chance to see it, it's still on Facebook. It's still on YouTube. It was an amazing interview, right? And I love that guy, man. It was just amazing. We had a good time in West Virginia. My wife and I, they welcomed us back, and we really enjoyed the company, and we enjoyed most of all the hospitality of West Virginia. And so also you guys know that today is day 10 of our project, right? 29 days love challenge. Right. And I want to say thank you, to you guys for your support. Thank you for pausing and taking a lunch break. You're taking a pause in your lunch break while you're eating lunch, and you're jumping on because that we believe love is the remnant for changing this world of hate and violence. We believe that love is the answer. We're trying to change a frequency and a vibration in this month. It says it takes 21 days to change a habit. We got 29 days to change a mindset, a habit, a vibration, a frequency. We want to change it from that negative aspect of life into this positive aspect of life, right? And we believe that love is the remnant. So, and the book of the month, without a doubt, the book of the month is Joyce Meyer's book, The Love Revolution. And we want to start a revolution around love, right? And love is the most powerful entity in the world. My friend Junius last night, my teammate said last week, love is more powerful than an atomic bomb, right? Hey man, nothing is when people show you love, right? Man, it just warms your heart and changes your mindset. And so a part of this is new too. Once we end the 29 days, the Blueprint podcast will have a segment of the love challenge. Moving forward, we're not going to stop. We're going to sow the seed, water the seed to it blossom. It's going to be a part of the Blueprint podcast. We're going to have a love challenge moment on the Blueprint. And, so without further ado, right, as we wait for our guests to get on, let me give you my book of the week. Yeah. Coach Tomlin, the soul of a football coach. I mean, Coach Tomlin is a part of that crew, right? Lovie Smith, Tony Dungy, and Coach Tomlin is a part of that crew of coaches. I didn't know if you guys knew this or not, of NFL coaches that are full of faith. I mean, they coach from the perspective of God. They coach from integrity. The thing that I'm talking about in terms of love, manifesting love, they treat their players like human beings. They love football. They love people, right? They are just awesome coaches, and they won a NFL championship with Coach Dungy back in the, I think it was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers when they won their first championship. Coach Dungy was the coach, and they were assistant coaches that went on to be head coaches. Lovie Smith and Coach Tomlin. They went on to do great things in their own respective coaching positions, and they are men of faith. They are children of God. And if you didn't get a chance, get that book. I didn't get that one yet, man. I was just looking up different books that I might be interested in reading, and this is one that I want to get into. So make sure you check that out. And here's the word of the week, right? We've been talking about love all week long, right? But one in the scripture in the Bible that says, now faith is, right? Not now faith is, but love, right? When I was a child, I spoke as a child, I thought as a child, but when I became a man, that's 1 Corinthians 13, I put my childish things away, and now is faith, hope, and love. And it says love, but it says charity. But the greatest of these is charity. Our ability to give, our ability to show, to be humanitarians, I show to love on people, and that's my word of the week, charity, right? And then here's my affirmation for the week. Yeah. I think I have an affirmation. Oh, there it goes. Affirmation. And this is the Hill and Pierce Hopper affirmation quote moment. 10 ways to love. Listen without interrupting. I mean, we talk over each other each and every day. Speak without accusing. Give without sparring. Pray without ceasing. Answer without arguing. Share without pretending. Enjoy without complaining. Trust without wavering. Forgive without punishing. Promise without forgetting. Right? Don't forget your promises. Right? That's my affirmation of the week. And here is my music and movie. Of course, can anybody say Usher? Gotta have it. Right? There are many other. If you are a fan of Usher, what's your favorite song he's going to be singing at halftime of the Super Bowl? Usher's going to be there. Man, that guy number one, I can sing. Right? Now, I can't sing. No, Usher can sing. I can't sing. Right? And what I like about Usher, not only can he sing, right, but he can entertain and he can dance, right? And you know, I don't watch him all that much, but you know that he really can do his thing. He's really an entertainer, and I've enjoyed his work throughout the years. And then the movie of the week, since we're in the Super Bowl, one of my favorite football movies is Remember the Titans. Yeah, with Denzel Washington and yeah, I mean, that's my music, my movie. And here's my person. I gotta have my person of the week, right? My person of the week is Doug Williams. I met Doug back with my good friend Walter Kirkland. We graduated high school together. He was an All-American in track. I was an All-American in basketball. And the last 2 or 3, what they call 100 Black Men's golf outing in Maryland. Doug Williams is one of his hosts, and so I met Doug a few times. What a just a wonderful, just a nice human being, and he is my person of the week, and also he is my Black History moment. And many of you didn't know that Doug Williams was the first black quarterback to win a Super Bowl. I mean, since we're talking about the Super Bowl, yeah, the first black quarterback to win a Super Bowl. And, you know, it was not my desire, right? It was not my desire or on my wish list, right, to attend a Super Bowl. Everything that I heard about a Super Bowl is that you can't get a ticket. You can't get a ticket to the Super Bowl, right? And you know, so I didn't, you know, I always wanted to take in the final game of an NBA championship, right? But it was never my aspiration to go to a Super Bowl. That was not on the wish list. You know, like, you know what else wasn't on the wish list? I never wanted to go to the moon. I never wanted to get in a rocket ship and just go into the atmosphere and go up to the moon. Not on my wish list, right? I'm gonna tell you a few things not on my wish list. Mount Everest, it's not on my wish list. You know, to jump out a plane is not on my wish list. It may be on your wish list, right? But it's not on my wish list. You know, to do something crazy for some thrill, right? And there's a real risk of dying, not on my wish list. Not at all. Nope. Look, if somebody said Lowe's died jumping out the plane because he wanted to jump out, right? They lied. Somebody threw me out. There's no way in the world I got in that plane and jumped out. Nope. I've had many challenges to raise some money for the Boys and Girls Club of Mount Vernon by jumping out a plane. No, that's not happening. Somebody kidnapped me, they blindfolded me, and then they threw me out the plane because I didn't jump. Right? No way that I jumped out that plane. So we're still working on getting our guests on. Let's see here. Oh, look at that. Happy anniversary. Look like Mima and Poppy. Let me tell you, we've been we have been traveling and going to games, supporting our youngest daughter in basketball. I could say this, that if Poppy was here, he would be with us. I mean, right now, if Poppy and Mima were here, we would be at their house eating wings and watching the Super Bowl. Cause man, Poppy loved baseball, Poppy loved football, and Poppy loved basketball. You know, Mima was like, "What? I don't know." but she participated. And then next week, man, is on a Saturday, right? Next week is the NBA All-Star Game and the Blueprint, right? And the Blueprint is going to have a special Saturday. We could, I pushed the Saturday because I know you guys want to enjoy the Super Bowl on Sunday, and I can't compete with the Super Bowl, so I had to do it the day before early, get it out the way before you guys get out running on Saturday. And then so next week I'm going to do that on a Saturday as well, and my guests to be announced. So we're communicating with my guests today. There we go. Patrice and I at Super Bowl 19. We went to the Super Bowl, y'all. It wasn't on our wish list, but we were at the Super Bowl. Let me tell you how. Let me explain how we got to the Super Bowl. A good friend of mine on the board, Miss John Rappaport. Him and his father, one was on the honorary board of the Boys and Girls Club of Mount Vernon, and one was on the board of the Boys and Girls Club of Mount Vernon. And every year, John's father, since the inception of the Super Bowl, 5 guys, I don't know if you watch on the news, every year they show these guys, 5 guys started going to the first Super Bowl, right? And they have made every Super Bowl since, right? It got so wild that the NFL recognized them for being at every Super Bowl, right? That a few years ago, probably about 10 years ago, they no longer have to pay to go to the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl gives them tickets every year. Every year. So I'm sitting in my office and I'm talking to John on the phone, and and I know they were gearing up. It's a week before the Super Bowl, and they are gearing up, right? They're gearing up to go to the Super Bowl. So I asked him, I said, is your dad and his friends gearing up to go to the Super Bowl? And he said, yeah, they are. But, unfortunately, one of my dad's friends passed away, right? I was like, oh, wow. Sorry to hear that. My condolences, right? And he said, hey, would you like to go to the Super Bowl? I was like, he said, I'm going to check with my dad and see what he says, and I'll call you back, right? So I'm sitting there in the office, and lo and behold, he calls me back. He said, Lowe's, I'm going to give you 2 tickets. You and your wife can go to the Super Bowl. And then one of my co-workers, I'm going to give you another 2 tickets for you and your co-worker and his wife to go to the Super Bowl. I was like, what? Yeah, we're going to give you passes, to all the Super Bowl activities during that week. You can go. Can you go? Huh, I could go. We'll figure it out. And they gave us, the NFL had given them 4 tickets or 5 tickets, whatever they needed, right? It was, my wife said Super Bowl 53. Right, I got it on my hat there. So they give us the tickets, right? We hook up with our cousin in Atlanta, and man, it was it was awesome. Next thing you know, we're at the Super Bowl. We're going to all the Super Bowl stuff, man. Atlanta, where they had the Olympic Village area. We walking through. it's mania. It's crazy, And here's one of the most powerful things I say. Why I love, why I love the Atlanta, and why I love the owner of the NFL team in Atlanta. We went there expecting, number one, if the Super Bowl was in New York, or New Jersey, it probably be $300, $400, $500 to park your car, right? We park for $25, right? We go to the the Atlanta Falcons. We go to the arena, the Mercedes-Benz Arena. It's amazing. This thing was so amazing, man. We get in, and so we get in the Super Bowl. We hyped, man. You can see in the picture, we just hyped, and it's New England Patriots. New England gave, because Mr. Rappaport was a season ticket holder of the New England Patriots. So he gave us his New England Patriot tickets, and he went to the Super Bowl. You're talking about random acts of kindness or acts of kindness, right? This was crazy. He gets his Super Bowl tickets from the Super Bowl, which wasn't better seats than the ones he gave us. He gave us seats, man. Seats were awesome, right? And we're sitting, we're sitting right there, man. Arena, beautiful. And so I asked my wife, would you like something to eat? And I'm thinking, we get up, we brought some money, we brought some cash, because we know, hey, at the Super Bowl is expensive. So I go up. She said what she wants, and I go up and I get everything we wanted: drinks, hot dogs, whatever it was, popcorn, chips, whatever it was, right? And I did it with $20 because the owners of the Atlanta Falcons will not allow you to overcharge people in the arena. Even during the Super Bowl, the only thing that was expensive in the Super Bowl was the book. The book was like $50, right? But the food, a drink was $2, a candy bar was $2, a hot dog was $2. I could not believe it. If you gonna ever support a team that supports its community, support the Atlanta Falcons. They do a wonderful job. Anybody, right? Anybody can be season ticket holders at the Atlanta Falcons, right? And it was just my wife will tell you, it was an amazing. I came back with change. Yeah, she said I came back with change. You can't get that done, but it was an amazing experience. It wasn't on my wish list, but man, what a random act of kindness, man. Just an awesome time. And we're still working to get our Super Bowl. Yeah, it was Super Bowl 53. I love it. Oh man, my wife. You can see, if you could show you that picture again. See, we kept our hats nice. I just put the hat away in my little hat case, and we both them hats like brand new. We wore them at the Super Bowl, and we put them in the case. Look at that, man. The hats look the same, right? But look at that crowd, just awesome as we took into the New England Patriots won the championship, the greatest of all time. Tom Brady, and man, think about what Patrick Mahomes is doing. He's getting the opportunity to go into his third possible Super Bowl championship. Just awesome. What's up, Bay?
What's up? I'm telling you, I'm loving this talk about football.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I wanted to play football. I did. I wanted to try and play football. We played in what they call the sandlot, in the grass, on the cement, growing up and stuff like that.
Were you any good?
I was pretty good, man. I could run the ball. I had look. You see my moves. You see my moves in the on basketball. you know, like that. You see my moves, right? You see my moves,
I
right?
seen your
Same thing on the
basketball
football
moves,
field.
but I'm not quite sure. Like,
Man, I do that on the football field, and I had great hands, right? You
mm,
know, I had great hands. Hey, do you guys know? Check this out. I was at West Virginia, right? And I was in a baseball class. I don't know why I took a baseball class, but I took a baseball class. I could literally throw a ball, man. I mean, I could literally play because I played little minor league, little league baseball growing up. I had some skills. I ain't gonna knock it out the park, but I could get on base, right? And then I was doing some you know, uh, who came to see me? The Oakland Raiders when
mm,
they were in Oakland, my junior year, and they worked me out. And the Dallas Cowboys came to see me, brought me down to the football field, wanted to draft me.
okay.
Right? They said you could either play wide receiver, you got speed, athleticism, you know, and he said if you didn't want to do that, you could be a cornerback. You got great instincts, so forth and so on. We'll draft you. Dallas said they'll draft me, and they put more weight on me, and I thought I could be a great cornerback. And I was like, nah, that ain't working. They said, look, no. I said, look, I don't want to get hit. You know, right? They said, no, you're not gonna get hit. If you're not gonna play the receiver, you're gonna play cornerback. You're not gonna get hit. You're gonna do the hitting. I said, me hitting them hurts.
Absolutely. I absolutely love football. I've been watching football since I was a little kid. My dad, who worked at several schools in Yonkers, the um, Yonkers High School, Lincoln High School, Hawthorne Middle School, or junior high school back then, and he used to take me to football games
Mm-hmm.
with him. And I remember being out there and drinking hot chocolate in the cold and having gloves on and screaming and yelling for the teams to win and learning everything about football. By the time I got to high school, I was the statistician for the football team. So I used to have to ride on the bus with them stinky men, stinky young men. Going to the game wasn't the problem. Coming back from the game was like nauseating. Um, but, um, but I was like the little girl in Remember the Titans. That's why I was so glad that you brought that movie up. Remember the Titans. I knew um, everything about football. Uh, Brenda said, "You ain't down with being hit or nothing." He's right.
No,
No, he's not
no.
the one. Um, but I remember my favorite part of the Remember the Titans is when the girl, the daughter of the coach, the white daughter, she was like going, yeah, and this is about the football, and this is about the football. She's talking about the plays, and the other girl, the blue black girl, Denzel's daughter, she goes, I do not care.
Yeah.
And that is one of the memes that Didi and I do all the time. Like when we hear something, I do not care. But I love football. Um, I remember when Sherelle was born in 1987, and she was born just before Thanksgiving. And I remember you must have had a game. I don't remember if it was the week after, but Fritz, who was like the um, resident photographer for the Albany Patroons, he had come to our house and taken pictures on Thanksgiving Day. And Sherelle was only 7 days old, something like, 6, 7 days. So she was really young. She was born on a Saturday, so it was the following Thursday. So he takes these pictures and he comes to the house to drop them off one day. And it must be like maybe that following Sunday. And he walks in the house and you weren't there because you were playing with the patroons somewhere. You had an away game.
Right.
So when he comes to bring me the pictures, right, Fritz walks in the house and the football game is on. So he kind of walks in and I noticed that he's kind of like walking around the house. And I'm like, what's this dude walking around my house for? And he looks at me, he says, there's no guy here. I was like, no. He said, you're actually watching the football game by yourself? Yeah, that's what I do. And he could not believe that I was watching a football game. And I said, I actually watch football more than my husband does. You know, like somebody they'll do something. I said, oh, that's a legal procedure, or, or that's a false start,
Yeah, that
or
used.
that's offsides, or rough in the pass, like illegal, ineligible receiver downfield, and you're like, how do you know that?
Yeah, that used to frustrate me. I'm watching the football game. Yeah, 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 yeah. You hear the whistle blow, boop, and your wife says, "Yeah, that's a illegal procedure." They were offsides. Who was offside? How did you see that? Yeah, no, that was cool.
And that
Hey,
was
and
that
that's
came.
one of the things when you talk about relationships,
Hmm.
right? When you talk about relationships, right? You know, you have to have some things in common.
Yeah, right. That wasn't really one of them.
No, I mean we had sports in common.
We had sports in common, right? I wasn't one of those wives that would say, "Oh, you're watching that again? Like, turn the channel." Like, I would be like, "Oh, who's playing?" Like, I would get up there, get my popcorn. I'm ready to eat and watch whatever sports event it was, because I was always with my dad, and he took me to every sporting event that there was. So I learned so much about sports, and I'm still that way today. You're the Hallmark guy. You watch Hallmark, and I'm like, isn't there a game on or something? Like, we're like, so that is like the most hilarious thing to me.
Well,
You know,
and you love watching baseball, and I only love watching baseball when it's in the championship. You love watching, but you can watch baseball all the time. I'm like, I'm not watching that. Can we watch a movie?
well, again, my grandmother loved baseball. She was a Mets fan. She was not a Yankees fan. She was a Mets fan. So we kind of grew up watching the Mets with her. Um, my dad was a Yankee fan. So it's kind of like when you're forced to watch something, and you also want to spend that time with your family, with your dad or your mom. We want to make sure we do that. So, like, if you guys are on today and you have experienced, Mike said that, so Patrice, yeah, it is me, because I love. I don't just like watching sports. I really have an issue because I like analyzing. I'm like, I'm not even just like, and it's a scary part because it's not like I'm really watching for fun. I'm like, yo, they could have done this. Why did they do that? And it's so bad for us, because poor Sherelle and Steve. We go to their basketball games and we're like, well, they should have done this. They should have, like, we're coaching. They're the ones coaching, but
Yeah.
we're
And
those
you
sidelines.
screaming at them. You got a foul to give.
Oh, no, I'm terrible. I'm
last
terrible.
night was crazy. They didn't win last night, but they're doing well. I mean, they're
They're
18 and
doing
3.
very well.
Yeah, they're doing very well. We want more. You could do
We
well, but we
want we
want
want
more.
them to be undefeated. They can
Yeah,
never
yeah,
lose as far as we're
yeah.
concerned.
I'm watching the game last night, and Treese is yelling at the coaches last night. I mean, she yelling at the coaches. She got her phone out. I don't even know if she enjoying it. She got her phone out. She looking at all the stats on the phone. They got this turnover. They missed this many free throws. They done missed 19 layups.
Oh,
I'm
I'm
like,
the
what?
worst. And I'm the worst. And people did that to me when I was coaching, and I hated it. But I am the worst, because I'm like, yo, you had a foul again. Like, why wouldn't you let, it's terrible. That's terrible. But guess who's on? They're getting themselves together over here. Our special guest. How do you want to? Do you want to show the video first and then bring him on? How do you want to do that?
Yeah, man. I want to show a video first, man. I want to show the first video. You know.
Okay.
So yeah, let's show this first video real quick.
Okay, Lowe's, really quickly. The highlight video,
No, the one
the family.
high school.
High school. Look, he got so many.
Ooh.
You gave him so many videos in here. He's like a superstar. Like,
He first of all, he is a superstar.
he
Hey,
definitely
shoot.
is.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna go with the high school, then to
Yeah,
the
yeah,
then
yeah,
to
yeah.
the then to the big one. What do you want to do?
Yeah, I want to show the high school one. This is quick. It's like boom, like that quick.
And then bring him on.
Yeah, then I'll bring him on, man, to get his
Okay.
thoughts.
Okay.
if his actions can follow up his words. Hand up is it Jordan Lucas, has some room inside the 10, cuts back to the 5, the goal line. It's a touchdown. For New Rochelle, Jordan Lucas turns the corner and runs 18 yards for the game's first score.
There's a great.
What's up, Jordan?
What's going on? Sorry for being late. How's everybody doing?
Oh, great, man. Great. We just showed you a little high school, touchdown.
Oh yeah. That was actually my first. I think it was my first varsity touchdown, if I can remember correctly.
What was that like, man? What was that? I mean, what was that like?
Shoot, it was a crazy feeling. Actually, no, that was my first varsity touchdown. I was in 10th grade. But I wasn't officially on varsity. You know how they move you up for like a game or two.
Yeah.
That's what that was.
I saw that. I was like, oh man. And I gotta say this, I'm in Mount Vernon, you're in New Rochelle. And I'm proud. Number one, as long as we ain't competing against each other, we all good.
Right.
We all good. But when somebody from Westchester, and my wife can help me with this, regardless of color, if you from Westchester and you go on to do something, we competitive here, right? But we ain't crazy, so if somebody goes on to do something well, what's the young lady? I know my wife can give me the young lady. She's now playing at Notre Dame. She's from Westchester.
What's her name?
What's her name, Trees?
Citron, yeah.
Yeah. From Citron. She can ball. She
went to Ursuline.
Ursuline, yeah. See,
really?
We didn't, Mount Vernon, Ursuline. Taylor was at Ursuline.
Taylor, yeah. She's the first one that comes to mind when you think of the Mount Vernon Ursuline connection.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't with Citron, I don't have no connection other than she was in Westchester, and when I watched her play on TV, I always go, she's from Westchester.
Right. That's important. That's important.
But her father, I think, coached with the Future Stars with Kirsten and those guys were playing back then. So she does have connection because she has, I think, another sister or somebody that's older than her that played Kirsten.
Right. And so now you leave, you go to Penn State and then you play in the NFL. Man, he's from Westchester. He's from New Rochelle. I remember Ray, and my favorite all time is Clyde Vaughn. Played basketball. Played basketball back in the day. We played in the summer leagues together. So man, there's a family connection. I went to church in New Rochelle. I mean,
wait, did you know that I played for the Boys and Girls Club?
You played with who? Who was your coach? My brother?
Yeah,
or Curtis, right?
Yeah. him and Craig Dorn.
Yeah.
I played for the Boys Club, Boys and Girls Club back in the day.
Yeah, I saw some games. I saw a bunch of games, but definitely a bunch of practices. But I just come walk in the gym, look, my brother knows what he's doing.
Right. That was when I was a little shrimp though. I was like 13.
Nah. And then I'm sure Curtis was like, you don't know as a coach when you're little, you guys are little and you're coaching, just like our coaches didn't know what we were going to be in the future,
right?
But they were laying a foundation for us, so hopefully that we would go to school, have good character, and use our gifts to be a blessing to somebody. So I just wanted to say up front, man, congratulations. Proud of you, man.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
So we're gonna show a highlight. You got to show another highlight, man.
Oh man,
yeah.
I didn't even think they had that many of me up there.
What? Okay, you better check. We had to change some of the music, but we.
Oh yeah. No copyright infringement, and we're gonna keep it clean.
Yeah, we're gonna keep it clean. Yeah, because Go ahead, man. Man.
Good
Yeah.
times. Good times.
Good times. Yeah, I like that. And I want to say congratulations because after, playing in the NFL, last year you were at Marshall University, my interstate rivalry. I played at
Yeah.
West Virginia, and
Yep.
Randy Moss, my good friend, used to always say, "Hey, you know, Randy Moss is a big fan." Because when I played, Randy was like in high school or something like that, and and then my friend Greg White, he played on the basketball team at Marshall, and then now I want to say congratulations again. Now you back at your alma mater, you back
Yeah.
at Penn State now
Thank you.
coaching, yeah. So talk a little bit about this before we get into family and stuff like that, and talk about the Super Bowl. Talk about, I mean, could you ever imagine? And look, I never imagined me going to a Super Bowl. And a little bit earlier, we talked about how we got tickets to go to the Super Bowl 53.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we was at the Super Bowl with Tom Brady and the Rams. Somebody gifted us some tickets, to go to the Super Bowl. But we watched the Super Bowl. You like, could you ever imagine when you think about as a kid, I'm gonna be in the Super Bowl?
I mean, the answer is no. I never could have imagined. You think, you're one in a million. When it comes to getting drafted, you're one of that top 1%. You know what I'm saying? And to a lot of people, that's enough. You know what I'm saying? That's the dream. The dream is lived. And you don't think Super Bowl. Super Bowl is just the icing on the cake. You're able to make it to a Super Bowl. That's something that, people can go on and have 17-year careers and probably never make it there once, or lucky to even make it to the playoffs a few times out of their career. So to make it to the Super Bowl, that's I can't even say that's a dream come true because I never even thought it was possible.
Wow. Yeah. I think back playing basketball, I always thought I could make it to the NBA. I used to dream about playing in the NBA. One thing I should have dreamt about was being in the NBA championship. That's what I should have dreamt about that one because
Yeah,
everything came true. I should have dreamt about having a long career in the NBA. But when you're young, your thinking process is limited.
it's
If I
much
could
different.
just get there, it's gonna be good. But you got there and won a Super Bowl, and
You know what's something that I said the other day? I said this to a player. And then I thought back to myself when I was in college. I never put the cart in front of the horse. So any goal that I had, like when I first got there as a freshman, a lot of people nowadays would say, all right, my goal is to make it to the NFL, right? That's cool and everything, but there has to be a plan. There has to be something behind that. It can't just be, I want to make it to the NFL. Boom, that's it. For me, my freshman year was, all right, they've changed my position to cornerback from safety. How am I going to stop tripping over my feet as a freshman? How am I going to get better at each rep, right? So my freshman year is over. How am I going to get more playing time and become a starter? That was my mindset. So progression to get there. Then once I started really playing, now I'm thinking NFL is in my sights. You know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying? So that like you got to be intentional with your dream. You can't just say, "Boom, this is my dream." I want to get there. You
yeah,
got to have some type of plan behind it.
yeah. You got to bring it. I always say when you say something, okay, now what's the practical application of doing that? And then maybe you don't know, and then you need a mentor or coach to say, well, Jordan, if that's what you're looking for, I mean, because some people are just some people are just, come on, Jordan, quit thinking about that, man. That's unrealistic. Just play football for the day. You just go out there and play,
Right.
But then some people will say, okay, regardless of where they think you are skill wise, they say, okay, well, if that's what you want to do, look at this, boom, boom. This is process.
Hmm.
And a lot of times that don't happen early. When you're young, it doesn't happen early. But you're very fortunate because we had decent football teams at Mount Vernon, right? But you had great football teams at Mount Vernon, in terms of high school.
Yeah.
We had great basketball teams in the development of the basketball players, from the Boys and Girls Club to the high school. And then, the whole thing is like, yeah, yeah. He said he's proud of you, man.
Yeah, no, that's my guy
Following your
right
whole
there.
career, yeah.
What's up, Coach Kurt?
That's so funny.
Yes, yeah, that's my dude
Hey,
right there.
now,
My dad was just talking about you too, Coach Kurt. He just mentioned you the other day, man. Was talking about some old times being on the team and some life lessons, being taught.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna tell you a funny thing. He should probably tell you himself, but one time I came back home. My brother, it used to be a thing in Mount Vernon that when you get in your senior year, you play football. Your last year, if you're a basketball player.
Okay.
That didn't happen for me. Ray Williams did it. Sam Williams did it. My brother Curtis did it. Right. And I can go back to Biddy League, right? Football, when he was a little guy, my brother was big. Right. And so he's out there on the football field. And out, that where they used to play Biddy League out there in Mamaroneck, where the water is.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, he played out there. So I went to see him. And Curtis was the game. He was scared to death, man. He's the biggest dude out there, but he's scared to death. Right.
I'm telling you, Mount Vernon ain't about that football life. Something. So basketball for sure.
Yeah. So they're playing against a white team, right? And so my brother, they put him out there and they said, go hit the guy, go get the guy. And so they hiked the ball and my brother turns, my mom's on the side, my brother turns and runs off the field, right? He's not even looking at the guy. So the guy comes running by and he runs into him. Right? So the parent on the other side screaming, "Hey, the big guy killed my son." He wasn't even trying to tackle him.
I could only imagine him back then. Oh my gosh.
And then he played in high school. He played his senior year and he had a run back, man. He was running straight up like.
They had him running the ball?
I think he did a punt return or something like that, man. Because he was 6'3", fast, strong, and he running. They was hanging on him, and he tossing them off him and stuff like that, running for his life.
Coach Curtis, we need you to respond in the chat. Were you fast back then with the rock in your hand? We need to know right now. The whole chat needs to know.
Man, we gonna send him a link and tell him to get on.
Yeah, we need him in there for this. This is prime time stuff.
Oh yeah, he played football, man.
Okay, kickoff return and wide receiver. All right. Okay.
Oh yeah, that was. I came back home one time, from I don't know where I was at, and I came straight to the high school, and they were practicing, right? And so our cousin was coming off the field because he's a kicker, right? He ain't trying to get hit. He's a kicker, so he's coming off. I was like,
we have black kicker at Mount Vernon.
Yeah, man.
Okay, we just getting it going.
He kicked and then he leave. He don't even stay for practice. So he's coming across the bridge, and I'm saying like, Ernie, where Curtis at? He said, man, look for him. He's the one with the pink helmet. They haven't got a helmet for him yet. He got the pink helmet on. It was like I go out there, he got a big pink helmet on. They hadn't even painted
with the one with the little bar.
Yeah. Curtis out there. Curtis with the pink helmet.
Nasty.
Oh man, but that's it. They wanted them to play for Nebraska. He's like, look, I ain't playing no football, man. Yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you, that could have been the calling right there.
It could have been, So talk a little bit more about the experience of the Super Bowl, and I mean just with Andy Reid and all those guys you had on the team, man. Talk about, it seemed like a very special team.
Well, you said it right there. It was a very special team. It was a player-led team. It was a team that had respect for one another. Again, geographically, we're in Kansas City. There's nothing to do but play football, family and football. So the focus there is on point. That always, and then when you have a great coaching staff that's put together and it starts from the top down all the way to the bottom, from Andy Reid. He's a player's coach. He's a personality guy, lets you show your personality. So for me, being traded there, after being with Miami, I got to legit be myself. You know what I'm saying? And he told us all the time, guys, we have great personalities on this team. Let them show. Let them show. I'm not going to hold you back for anything. As long as you do everything that you're supposed to do, outside the lines and inside the lines, you got nothing to worry about for me. So, we held each other accountable. We practiced a certain way. And ultimately, that's why we won a lot of games. And I was able to see, what a winning culture feels like, what practice feels like. You know what I'm saying? Because it's different. I've been places where it's like, this ain't how we supposed to be practicing.
Yeah.
Like, from as a whole. And it takes a while to kind of change the culture and change everybody's way of thinking and their body movements, and just the mental gymnastics and the struggle of it has to be like this in order to win.
Yeah.
It has to be like this in order to win. When you have that going and everybody's on board with that, that's when you have success like the Chiefs have had in these recent years.
Yeah. And it's difficult as a professional player to find the right team. I mean, I got drafted by the Nets. They were terrible at the time. Then I went to Cleveland. Then I went to the Clippers. They were all bad. They all good now, but they
Right.
were all not really good organizations, not really good coaching and teaching. There. So it's hard to find that, and when you can't find that, your career shortens. I mean, when you can't find that, and you were able to find this this wonderful place, man, where you could go and be yourself and perform, and you did perform.
Thank
Yeah.
God. Thank God. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank God they came and found me because they traded for me my third year. And I had found out that they wanted to trade for me in my second year, but Miami had did something where they brought me back on contract where I had to be there. So I couldn't get traded to KC my second year. But thank God everything worked out. I got to play there for 2 years. Went to the playoffs both times. Went to the AFC Championship both years. Was great. Helped Coach Reed win one of his first Super Bowl. Well, his first Super Bowl, and it got etched in history like that. And that's something that nobody could take away from me. Nobody could take away from us. I got to have my son there. Got to have all my family there. So I mean, that all that that's what really matters to me. My son, he's gonna get to grow up and see pictures of me holding him up on the podium with Coach Reed, alongside Coach Reed, Travis Kelsey, things in that nature. So that was really special for me.
Yeah. So let's digress for a moment because you mentioned family, right? I want you to talk a little bit about the importance, not current family, but from the perspective of family, faith, and the importance of family, faith, and education growing up. Talk about mom and dad, and growing up, and what they instilled in you as a person.
Well, growing up, I'll just speak athletically real quick, and not even just athletically. My support system was always A1. Mom, dad, they showed up to everything. They participated in everything, any parent teacher conference, any sporting event, any play date. They were there. I didn't want nothing was ever easy, but between them and things that they had to do for me, but they made sure that I never wanted for anything. You know, I was never at a point in my life where I was looking for love because love was always there. It wasn't always perfect, but I got everything that I needed from them. I learned things to do, I learned things not to do, and you know, I can live here as a 30-year-old man and say I personally had the greatest examples of parents. You know, like I said, everything wasn't pretty, but they raised a young man that knows how to think. They taught me how to think for myself. They taught me how to see things for what they are, and they taught me how to love.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I mean, what more can a young man ask for? I mean, you know,
Nothing. It's all about perspective. They gave me perspective. There, that's how I put it. They gave me perspective. So if things weren't right, that's okay. Let me look for the good in it, and how can I make it better? You know.
yeah, yeah. Which I want to show you this next uh, uh, video, this little highlight here. Since you're talking about family, we want to talk about the Lucas family. So check this out, and we'll go from there.
All right.
Hey YouTube, it's the Lucas family.
It's shaped.
No.
Period. Good job, baby.
As you can see, Jace is clearly the star of the show. If you know, you know. And if you don't, I promise you will find out. Stay tuned. Let's see if we can get it together. And introduce yourself. What's your name?
Shaped.
Jace. How old are you?
3 years old.
And this is your little sister?
Yes.
What's her name?
So,
Zoe.
yeah, and she's 2.
She's not 2, she's 4 months
She's
old.
4 months.
And what's your favorite dinosaur?
And dinosaurs.
What?
Ankylosaurus?
What's your favorite dinosaur?
And dinosaurs and Bumpy.
Bumpy is what?
All powerful one.
A herbivore.
Yeah, that's why he eats plants.
He eats plants. Good job.
And Patrice.
And what's your favorite animal besides a dinosaur?
Dolphin.
Dolphin. Yes, she is so silly.
Oh, you swimming like a dolphin?
Boy, what do you love to do? What's your favorite thing to do?
Let my family to watch the dinosaur.
When your family's all together? Oh, that's your
My name is Jordan Lucas. I'm the leader of the family. What's up, YouTube? My name is Jordan Lucas, aka Drop, aka Daddy. We have Zoe here. We got my son Big Mouth Jace. And we got the leader of the family, Mrs. Lucas, aka put some respect on my name, aka Big Tay, aka how you doing?
Hey guys, this is Taylor here,
Mommy.
also known as Mommy. You know, so many of you guys have been asking us to make this YouTube channel for a long time now. So we finally said, all right, let's just do it. And so we're excited to bring you guys along our family journey. We're gonna do some weekly vlogs. We're gonna show you guys some fun things that we're doing. And we have a lot of exciting things coming up that we can't wait to share when the time comes. So we hope that you follow us on Instagram and TikTok. We'll put all that at the bottom so you guys can follow us. And we're excited for what's to come. So
Like and subscribe.
Wow. Are there any more episodes that was
Yeah, me and Taylor, me and Taylor just put one up just a couple of weeks ago. She had me doing some challenge with her on there. She caught us after a night of going out, You know, so we were recovering, then had a kid. So we did this challenge where she had to say a word, and we had 3 seconds to spit out whatever came to our head. Like for example, she would say like power, and 1, 2, 3. I would say outage or ranger or something like that. You know what I'm
Yeah, yeah,
saying? And we
yeah,
had to see if we would be thinking the same thing. Didn't go well. Didn't go too well.
yeah. Well, of course, uh, Taylor and I and my wife, we go way back. And I
Yes.
remember Taylor when she was a little girl, and her sister as well. And of course, uh, her dad played with my brother Curtis,
Right, right, right.
and they won the state championship and all those things. And
Crazy.
the alumni of the Boys and Girls Club, and I had the privilege earlier in her career, where she played at my alma mater, West Virginia University. Go Mountaineers!
Hmm.
And had a chance to work with her a little bit, do some little bit of training and stuff, man. I think they was trying to figure out whether or not they love basketball like that. They enjoy
Yeah,
basketball, and I have to say for her, um, you know, I'd say she was very talented, but the thing that drove her was her passion for the game. Her love for it. She really loved it. I mean, and she really worked hard. You bring some people to the gym, they just go through the motions. I don't know if I want to be it, but she really was going for it. And she wanted to be good, and she was. She wanted to be great, and she was. So yeah, and just
that's
great
good.
personality. Yeah,
Yeah, that's what it's about, man. You got to train with intention, and just of course not being there, but hearing stories about the 5 a.m. training sessions, things in that nature. The workouts at the Boys and Girls Club, which I know weren't no joke, and just the basketball culture there alone. In my short time playing for the Boys and Girls Club, it was a blessing, and just to see some of that, I already know she was putting it in back in the day.
yeah. So talk about Taylor. Oh man, talk about your
She's
wife.
crazy, man. She's crazy. I don't know how I'm doing it. Nah, I'm just messing with you. No, literally, biggest blessing in my life. A lot of the times I don't know how I would operate without that woman right there. We met when I was 13, she was 14, so we've known each other for a little while now, and yeah, been together almost 10 years now. Uh,
Wow.
yeah, for 10 years, and it's been great. We're growing together. Just to think that we thought we were grown when we got together, and we've experienced life so much, been through so many things. Seen a lot of great things. Got have two beautiful children, going on 6 years of marriage. What more can I ask for? I'm blessed. I'm happy to have her. I thank God for my kids every day, and she's a great mother. As a husband, there's nothing more I could ask for. She does for me. She's a mother to me at times. So I'm living the husband's dream. What I have no complaining.
Well, hey, that's a good place to be. That's a good place to be, particularly as a man, as a husband, as a father. That's a great place to be. I mean, you probably, I would say, I feel that way all the time,
Mm,
right? And this is we're going on 40 years. In August it'd be 41 years,
that's beautiful.
right? Of what you just said every day. You know what I'm saying? I got zero complaints. So that's a blessing all by itself. Just to find a partner, you know, a perfect relationship,
Hmm.
and it makes growing together and loving your kids and being involved. Like now we still, we're still so involved with our kids, their husband, our grandkids. Man, we just love it. We love having them around. And being with them all the time. So just powerful, man.
Yeah, no, seriously, seriously. I could feel it now. Just seeing my kids go from infant to like those changes right there alone. Just it's like, oh, you're changing so fast. I don't want you to change. That, and then you get to think, it's like, bro, I just want to be with you every step of the way. I don't care. I don't care. You don't need to do nothing for me. I could just be a fly on the wall. I just want to be so invested in your life because you've helped give me purpose. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's gonna be the most rewarding things as parents for us. Looking into the future, just being there for our kids every step of the way. I want it to be like how Taylor and I are with our parents right now. We're 30 years old. We still call our parents for things. Hey, Ma, what am I supposed to fill out on this form? You know what I'm saying? I don't never want that to stop with our kids. And we're building that foundation right now every day as we go through this life.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, our kids call us call us too. Hey, and I don't mind. I mean, like, cause we're supposed to be the person with the wisdom,
Right. And the answers,
yeah.
Now, the good thing about it is the answers aren't always going to be 100% right,
That's right.
but you're going to have an answer.
That's
That's the
right.
thing. You're going to have an answer.
Right. Or an opinion.
Oh yeah, there we go. You just cleaned it up for me right there. There we go.
Everybody got an opinion. Like I just had an opinion. I added to the show today. My opinion matters. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Before you came on, my opinion matters. Somebody said you ought to give your opinion. You play professional sports and stuff like that. You got an opinion. I say everybody got an opinion, but I got an opinion. My opinion of the day was that out of all the sports, right, NFL football players, professional football players, all contracts should be guaranteed. That's my opinion.
I completely agree with that. The risk, that you're putting your body and your brain, under. It just doesn't make any sense. You see all the other sports, the revenue generated, and the numbers just don't make any sense. Why can't guys' contracts be guaranteed? Why can't the salary be bumped up? They need to do something with the cap space, whatever they need to do to figure it out. Guaranteed money is definitely a necessity for the NFL.
Yeah, because in a moment's notice, one hit, bang. Whether you are, I mean, and we've seen it recently in terms of Buffalo and a couple of other places, man. Just one hit, whether you're on offense or you're on defense, just one hit, life changes.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's tough, and it's a tough thing to talk about. Because you just don't know how you tend to think like, how do the NFL really value us? You know what I'm saying? How does it really value the player? And time and time again, they just prove that it's not as important to them. Like our futures aren't as important to the higher ups.
Yeah, and they kind of take advantage of the love you have, because you don't do this. Oh, I just want to do this. This is a job I want to do. No, you love football. I love basketball. So we're doing something since we were little kids, right? That we loved, right? We love this, and so we go out and play. We're not looking at the risk of it. We don't look in the future. If I've been playing basketball since I was like 9 or 10 years old, and the love for it, but the wear and tear. So when just a normal person going through life, right, every day getting up, they're not they're not playing these sports, but you play like 20, 30 years, right? And then all of a sudden, man, you get older. You say, okay, what's that? What happened here? What's these joints like here? So you love it, and you putting your body and your mind and your spirit and everything out there. Somewhere down the line, if people are getting rewarded for it, I ought to get rewarded for it also. That's just my opinion.
No, I completely agree. I completely agree with that, with your opinion. You
Yeah,
know, I ain't gonna go too much into it, but I completely agree.
yeah, and so I mean, when it came down to like now you won the Super Bowl, and then I think you went to Chicago, right? After
Yeah.
yeah, you go to Chicago. What comes into, because you know what? There's a lot of people that learn to get in a plane, right? You get in a plane, you take because I want to be a professional, so I get in a plane,
Hmm.
right? And now I'm flying. I'm going through the process of being, hopefully one day being that professional athlete, and I become that professional athlete. Most athletes don't know how to land the plane.
Right.
How did you land it? Because a lot of people like keep playing until their limbs fall off. How did you land that plane from professional playing professionally and then transitioning into coaching?
Well,
What came
really,
up with that your mindset? What was the decision there?
well, really, just wanting to be a part of the game, no matter what. I love football. I've been playing for 21 years of my life. I'm 30. I let you know I've been playing for, yeah, I've been playing for 21 years, and just having good coaches. I always kept a good relationship with my coaches. And one thing that I've always learned from older guys is that the transition when you're done playing football, whether you stop playing in college or professionally, is always tough. It's always tough on guys because while they're playing, they don't have a backup plan. You know what I'm saying? Because you think this is plan A. I make it to the league. You're thinking you have your youth all these years, but little do you know that time just creeps up on you, creeps up on you, creeps up on you. And then the way the league is, they want to get younger guys in there. You know what I'm saying? And they don't want to pay vets. So you
Mm,
have to, like I said earlier, everything's about perspective. You have to have a good perspective on life. You have to have a good perspective and be honest with yourself about the position that you put yourself in professionally. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't do that. Like whether they could have worked harder, they could have did this harder, they could have studied a little bit more. Whatever it could be. You got to hold yourself accountable, and a lot of professionals don't do that. So when it comes time to them to be done with the game, it's like, oh, I didn't give it everything I had. I have so much more to give. And then you put the blame on everybody else but yourself. And then
yeah.
you don't have the right people in your ear trying to guide you and navigate you through the process. I've had great people, I've had great coaches. I have my wife, to sit here and talk me through things, when I'm not all here mentally, when I'm not feeling like myself, when I really don't know what life is about to bring next. So you have to find passion. I said something to somebody the other day. It's okay to dream as long as you know that as you get older, your dreams will change. If
Mm,
you would have asked me 10 years ago, was being at Penn State a dream job of mine? I would say no. I don't
mm,
know because I haven't dreamt that far yet. Now I'm in the NFL. I accomplished this dream. A short while ago, I didn't know what my next dream would be.
mm.
I knew I wanted to get into coaching. Me and Tay, we spoke things into existence as far as, oh, one day you'll end up back at Penn State. Just BSing, just talking. Look at God. I sacrificed 6 months away from my family, go to Marshall to coach for the year. I finally graduate from Penn State while I'm at Marshall coaching and get my degree, get my bachelor's.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. But, that's, that's pretty much what helped me transition. I had great people in my corner. I was able to, take a step back, be real with myself. And then I had to ask myself, what can I see myself doing? What fulfills my heart right now? And really is being around them young men, like helping them out, showing them the things that I did and didn't do to get to where I'm going. To try to help them in their process, whether it be playing professionally, whether it be just getting your degree, finding a job, networking. I want to help in all aspects of life because somebody has helped me. My father has helped others. So I want to be that to somebody.
Awesome. Yeah, and we got few questions here. Dakari Maynard, that's my son-in-law.
What's up, Dakari?
He said, did the atmosphere between Miami and Kansas help your focus and discipline?
Definitely. And I'm not just gonna single myself out. I saw it as a organization, as a team. When I was on Miami, a lot of guys, their focus wasn't necessarily on football. There were so many other things to do, so many other clubs, restaurants, nightlife. You got all these celebrities and the star power coming in and out of the city. You know what I'm saying? So the focus is pulling you every which way. There's distraction, distraction, distraction. I get traded to KC. It's a much different culture. It's a much different coaching staff. Coaching staff matters. Location matters. The type of guy matters. You know what I'm saying? All three of those things, they matter. So the focus was definitely different from Miami to Kansas City.
Yeah, and a person who can relate to Kansas, of course, is my brother Curtis. He went to Independence in Kansas.
Right.
So there you go, right there.
What'd he do?
What's going on?
Oh, nothing. I can't call it. How's everything?
Everything's good out here in North Carolina.
That's good. That's good. My dad said hello too.
Yeah, I gotta get his number, man. I was talking to Coach Craig a couple of days ago. I asked him, did he see your pops?
Yeah. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get him your number after this.
All right.
Yeah.
So talk to him about his football experience, Jordan. I don't think you knew.
You got to tell, because I had no idea.
Yeah, I played my last year in high school. I said, you know what? I've been playing football all my life out in the park and the projects. So I said, let me play football. So I said, okay. They put me on wide receiver. I scored a touchdown against New Rochelle, too. I want to let you know I ran a touchdown back.
Hey, you never going to let that one go.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, but then when I was in Nebraska, they kept throwing me out. So Tom Osborne, the coach. Tom Osborne came to me personally and said, yo, why don't you play football for us next year? So I went to my coach in Nebraska and I said, I'm thinking about trying out for football. So he put some kind of thing about, well, if you go play football, you can't play basketball. I was like, what? So I went to one of their practices. I said, all right, let me go check this practice out. Man, I went out there and watched them dudes bigger than me. So I said, no. That was horrible. And they were remember that year, they had like the biggest line in the NFL. So I was like, I'm looking at this practice. I said, nah. But then I did run. They were going to put me at tight end.
Okay, all right. I was about to say, what position did they have you playing? What did they want for you?
They want me to play tight end. But then what happened was they had a basketball game. I sprung my ankle. So one of the trainers, they hooked me up with Miami Dolphins. I ran for Miami Dolphins. Okay. But I had twisted my ankle, so I really couldn't run fast. I was doing all kind of drills and stuff like that. Yeah.
Man, that's crazy. That's crazy, man. You get a little piece of history that you ain't know. All you gotta do is tap in. That's nuts. I couldn't imagine you back in the day playing football. But I know you was probably big.
Yeah, I played, man. You know, I wasn't scared, man. I don't know what Lowe's talking about. I wasn't scared, man.
Man, when you
big
first
bro, you
started
gotta
playing
throw that sauce
football,
on there.
when he was playing bitty football, her mom is on here. She can verify that.
Because
Ooh.
Ricky Stanley was our quarterback.
Ain't no way.
And Ricky Burton was
Ain't
on the
no
team
way.
too.
Ain't no way Rick Sand was
Yeah.
playing quarterback.
Yeah, Rick was
Oh no,
quarterback.
no, Rick was good.
He was
Yeah.
Rick
like,
was
Oh
good.
yeah, yeah. Rick
I
was good.
gotta, man, I'm gonna
He
call
was the
him after
man.
this, man. I'm gonna call Stanley after this.
I'm talking about me, him, and Ricky Burton. We was all on the same team.
The other Rick, what? Nah, I
Yeah,
gotta get
yeah.
them on
Kurt.
three-way. Ain't no
Yeah,
way. I
like
ain't know.
my
I ain't know they was
like my
they
wife
was
said,
playing
Kurt
football.
was full of muscles, and he
Yeah,
was fast and quick, and he could
yeah,
jump out the gym.
We got to
yeah.
get the picks from back in the day. You know what? Your next episode, we gotta do a flashback. We gotta do flashback picks. We need y'all to dig into the archives and bring out y'all best shots from back in the day. Yeah,
You
that's what we
know,
Yeah,
doing.
I would have played Coach Scarpino, right? Was he your coach, Kurt?
yeah. No, I wouldn't. I didn't want to play for him because I didn't like him. So I said I wasn't gonna play because
Yeah, I wasn't playing for Coach Scarpino, right?
no, because he
I
was
thought
crazy.
about it, right? But everybody, you know, how you go to the preseason practice in the summertime.
Yeah, yep.
So you going those 2 days or whatever you're going through.
Yeah, the training camp.
Yeah, every guy I knew got hurt before the season ever started. So you never feel a team because Coach Carpino was doing crazy drills, doing all the scrimmages, and everybody was coming up lame and hurt. I was like,
Right.
nah, I'm not playing for that guy.
But the only one played for him was your brother Doug. Doug played for him. Doug had a good career in
Yeah,
football.
my brother Doug did. Only problem with Doug playing for Scarpino was he would run the ball all the way down the field, right? And then they give it to somebody else to run it in for a touchdown.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah. That's what I used to play running back. So that's one of the worst feelings ever. You got a 95-yard run, coach take you out, then somebody else run it in. It's like, bro, I did all the hard work to get down there. Let me get the reward.
Yeah, I used to see Doug, and Doug's smaller than us. So Kurt's like 6'3", 6'4". You know, I'm 6'1", 6'2". Doug's in the middle. He like 5'7", and he playing football, but he was rough.
yeah, he was
You
good,
know,
man.
yeah, he liked that. He liked that pain. You know.
Yeah.
He liked that hitting stuff, man.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I'm
But now, how
thinking.
you
That's what I'm
doing, man?
thinking. I'm good. I'm good, man. I'm to be honest, like I just said, I'm really literally living the dream right now. I never would have thought that I would be back here at Penn State.
Mhm.
I never thought that I would be in school again.
Uh huh.
But I'm going back to get my master's. So